What's up YouTube, this is Arlyoshi as usual. I'm Max bringing you more Let's Play Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club. Last time we finished up the Jontron route, and I put a poll up asking you guys to vote on who you think I should go after next. And at first it seemed like it was going to be PBG. And then suddenly the poll shot up, and instead this time, we're going for Gerard.
Jirard.
I'm asking Gerard. Now, just to explain things, the plan is basically the way you get a guy is that as you go through, you're given some sort of a choice that you have to make, and depending on how you do on that choice, you can or can't ask that guy to the festival. Since I did fine with Gerard, I'm just straight up able to start from here. If at any point in the future I do a guy who I have not unlocked, then I will just go through the game up to that point using the skip feature, and then I will make the choice properly so that you see how it's supposed to go. Anyway, now let's move on with the Gerard route. Really? Aw, that's so cute. Gerard is such a great guy. I'm sure you'll be happy with him. My. Well, go on. What? Go on and get your man. Wait, you mean now? Yeah! That's a lot of A's for a yeah. Mai hit me on the back and practically shoved me towards the door. As I began to leave, my legs turning to jelly, small pink blobs filled my wait, we've seen literally all those before. Go! Mai was tossing cherry blossom petals over my head. Go get Senpai to notice you. Mai beamed at me. No time to talk, Onna. This is going to be your big day. You're a main character. Unless you messed up real badly, you'll definitely get a good answer. I've messed up a lot, though. Just go! With a final shove, I was out the door. Now, where would I find him? I found Gerard in a secluded section of campus, a large map and notepad sitting out in front of him. He seemed perfectly content, and I felt bad interrupting him. Instead, I hovered around him, firmly telling myself that I was not in the least bit procrastinating. After a time, he glanced up, and upon seeing me, set aside his notepad and map.
Hey, Hana.
Hana, what brings you here? Also, I apologize if I completely forget every single damn voice I was giving these characters. Especially Gerard. I faltered. I couldn't just blurt it out, could I? What are you working on? There's a convention coming up in a week. Rumor is we're supposed to have Princess Pumpernickel, so I made a map and marked the location of every stall that sold IBKs. This is the most efficient route to check each one. I whistled, staring at the lines and circles running across his notepad. That's really complicated. It's impressive. It's nothing, really. Just a habit. I do the same thing. Whenever I want to go get something, I always try to figure out, the most efficient way to do it. The problem is a lot of the time I try to figure that out, as I'm going there, so it ends up wasting time in the end. I nodded, and then to my utter horror, the conversation stalled. I stared at the notepad, trying desperately to appear very, very interested, mind racing to figure out a way to form the words I wanted. The tension was rising. It was getting awkward. I hadn't moved in 45 seconds. Gerard was staring at the ground, no doubt feeling my awkwardness. That was it. I botched it. I stretched upwards, staring at the sky. Well, that's all, so I'll just be going. Great job, Hana. Way to completely and utterly suck, as usual. I raised a trembling hand to Gerard, who looked up in alarm. Wait, Hana, before you go. I paused. Did you need something? Gerard stared down at his notebook, fingernails rolling down the rungs. Was he nervous? So you know the flower festival is coming up. Gerard was blushing, but it seemed his mind was made up. Heat rushed to my face as I waited for what came next. I was thinking that, we could go together, but only if you were interested, Gerard looked at me, eyes wide in alarm. I couldn't help it. I started laughing helplessly. Gerard cast his eyes to the ground again. Good job, Hana. Yeah, I guess not, huh? No, it's not that. I was going to ask you myself, but I wasn't brave enough. Gerard looked at me questioningly, wind rustling a stray hair on top of his head. Then a slow smile spread across his face.
Really?
That's the most sarcastic really I think I've ever heard. If it weren't for you, we'd both end up going to the festival alone. So you go with me?
Yeah.
Of course I will. Gerard was beaming now. He clapped his hands together.
Awesome!
Awesome! We'll meet at the festival tomorrow then, right? Definitely, definitely. With the plan settled, the awkward silence crept back in along our ankles, settling like fog. Ellipses. Ellipses.
Take care.
Well, I'll see you then. Right. I turned so rapidly I stumbled over my own feet. Onna, are you alright? I'm fine. Sorry. Bye. Me IRL. I dashed away, internally screaming, awkward, awkward, awkward. But still, I had a date with Jirard, and he was the one who asked me. It seemed my feelings were reciprocated. Wait, were they? Yes, that's pretty obvious. Whatever. I woke up late the next morning, the day of the flower festival. I was buzzing with anticipation, but because of that, it took me forever to wake up. Now it was almost noon, and I rubbed my eyes as I arose. Hey there, sleepyhead. Good morning. You slept even later than I did. That's impressive, Hana. I sat up in bed, and something on the edge of my desk caught my eye.
Hey,
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, that? A letter for you. Came in the mail this morning, so I just said it. Oh, this is like... We've already seen this, I'm pretty sure, so... Hang on a moment. Here we go. I walked to the festival area alone, wary of students and strangers passing by with friends and family. It was a little nerve-wracking to go to the festival to meet Gerard rather than walk there with him. I felt silly in my yukata, overdressed even. No one was shooting me weird looks or anything, but the thought of wandering the festival alone and being stood up followed me like a hunting dog. There was a stall on the edge of the festival that sold beautiful silk scarves, apparently all created by the little old man behind the booth, and I stood at the corner of it, searching the crowd for Gerard. You okay there, miss? I flushed. It must be more obvious that I was on edge than I thought. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. The old man watched me for a few seconds, and I squinted at him. He looked oddly familiar. You know, it took me a while to get into the business of scarf making. I never set out to become a weaver. But I wanted to make a great present for my wife on our 20th wedding anniversary. Being a teacher in a poor town, I never had enough money to buy her one of the fancy silk scarves she wanted. I decided to make one myself. She showed it off to the entire town, and eventually I launched a side business selling scarves. Isn't that funny? Now I wonder whether it was meant to be. Why are you telling me this? You're a young lady alone at a festival. It's a good omen if I ever heard one. You can never guess what the future holds for you. Believe in yourself, alright? Believe that you're worth something, and something will come. So you... Hana, there you are. He is totally wearing an IBK, shirt. I don't know why it took me 5 tries to say the word shirt. Gerard finally appeared, a sheepish look on his face. Sorry I'm late. I hope you didn't wait long. Not at all. It's rude to keep a lady waiting, you know. The old man glared at Gerard, who flushed. Mr. Saitomo, it's nice to see you. I wish I could say the same. Boys these days have no class. And speaking of class, don't forget about the test on Thursday.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Gerard grabbed the tip of my elbow, leaning down to whisper in my ear. Let's get out of here. When we were a safe enough distance away, Gerard released me. Mr. Saitomo's everywhere. He's a nice old man, but he sure can get on your case sometimes. He was really sweet to me.
Really?
Was he? That's great. I am really glad they didn't go the very expected route of him just being a total pervert or something. I am glad they didn't go for that. Anyways, did you have somewhere in particular you wanted to go? I guess I would like to see the bonfire at some point. Other than that, no.
All right.
Great! Gerard reached into his pocket. He pulled out a weathered-looking scroll, which he unrolled with a flourish. You see, realizing this was your first time here, I made a list of all the most important places we should visit. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it right now. Gerard, I'm gonna call you right now. Gerard is totally just gonna be constantly acting the way that I often do. Just like, alright, so we're at this place that you've never been to. You should go here and here and here and here and here and here. Of course, the truth is that they're all important, so they're all on here, but they're listed in order of most interesting, so we'll hit the most important areas first. Gerard, it's so kind of you. Why are they using the unamused expression for that? Already my legs were aching. Gerard laughed. It's no trouble for you, Onna. But again, I'm sorry I was late. This list is the reason. I've been working on it since you asked me. I almost ran out of time to take Mr. Saitomo's last online quiz. That's why he was sassing me.
Really?
Oh. Jirard, you didn't have to go through all that trouble for me. I wanted to, and it was no trouble at all.
See what I mean?
People are what's most important, and I want to do my best to show you a good time.
Right.
Jirard, who was this arbiter of joy and goodwill standing before me? Was I really expected to believe that this was a teenage boy? Granted, seeing the beard, I can see why you would not believe it. Not only were his priorities in the right place, but he also had an unwavering sense of self. He was able to withstand the pressure of others without so much as breaking a sweat. But he was this nice to everybody, wasn't he? It wasn't just me. I wasn't special in any way. And why should I be? When I had ever done something to repay Gerard's kindness? Instead, I sat there like some kind of log, taking and taking while he gave his all to ensure my comfort and happiness. I was the worst kind of person. Oh my god. I really hate the cliche where it's just like, literally all it takes is a girl to be like a little bit shy. And then suddenly, within the span of one train of thought, she goes from, this guy is so nice, to, I hate myself, I am terrible. It's like, come on. You could be more creative than that.
What's going on?
You okay? You look kinda sad. I snapped back into reality. Gerard and I had kept walking, and now Gerard was pointing at a statue in the middle of the festival. A small woman with a flower-inspired design stood with her hands clasped, gazing happily over the festival denizens. To her right, even smaller than her, was an old man whittling wood. He was leaning against her, a sly smile on his face. It seemed like he would have been whistling. This is beautiful.
Right?
Isn't it? They put it in the middle of the festival every year, but people are so busy trying to stay together and find the right stalls that most walk right past it.
Well...
As you can tell, it's the flower spirit and the man who loved her. They're both here to watch over the town in secret. She's clearly happy everyone is here. That's so sweet. Even after his death, he's still with her. Gerard chuckled. So you believe the myth? Well... Me too! The guys always give me crap about it, but I believe something like that could have happened. And what's the harm in believing in a little magic? Gerard winked at me. No, there was no way this was a teenage boy. So for our next stop, Gerard took me to what felt like every stall in the festival. Each place we got to, we stayed for only a few minutes. Time was a-wasting, and we had a list to churn through. Yeah. I ended up learning more about Hagenbanas than I ever guessed. That an elderly nudist society came to the festival to advertise, that there was a lake just off the edge of town, that there was an entire alley made up of just crane games. We ate takoyaki, fried ice cream, flour ice cream, cotton candy, hot dogs, and funnel cake. We saw jugglers and acrobats, couples dancing in the streets, trees with petals that glowed like in the evening light. And finally, when I genuinely felt like I was about to die, we went to see the bonfire. So how did you like it? Hagenbanas is a great place, isn't it? Yeah, it's great, really. We sat on a log near the edge of the clearing, and I resisted the urge to lay myself flat upon it. My yukata would be a mess, and I couldn't afford to send it to dry cleaning. Did you like it? We didn't make it to everything, but that's okay. I saw you were kind of fading there. I mean, yeah, I can't keep up with you, I think. I don't have that much willpower. But I'm glad we saw all those things. Hagenbanas is a much more special place than I ever thought. Here I figured it was just some podunk throwaway town.
You are correct.
A lot of Asagao students think that way. They go straight for the games or the food, hang around for an hour or two, and then go home to sleep. There's all this build-up to the festival, and they don't even take advantage of it. Why bother going if you don't make the most of it? I'm getting the impression you're this gung-ho about everything you do. Gerard let out a hearty laugh. Apparently that struck a chord. It's just, if you're going to do something, why would you waste time being lazy about it? Either do it or don't do it. It doesn't make sense otherwise. But this isn't something unique to me. The other guys think that way too. That's why we all bonded together so well, I think.
Really?
Really? You already said that. Somehow I doubted that. PBG fell asleep in class. Gerard seemed almost completely insincere in all of his interactions with the general female population. He even continues to seem more interested in messing around with each other than in winning their election. Granted, they were running unopposed, so maybe that made sense. Yeah, I get that reaction a lot. We seem like such a carefree bunch, and we try hard not to make people sad. We just want to do what we love, you know? Play video games, hang out with people, find something that inspires us, and maybe, if it isn't too much to ask, contribute something to people. Bleh. I can't read this all so properly. I can't speak either. I need water. I think it's easy to overlook how hard we're all working, but if you knew where to look, you'd see how much they're all fighting. Gerard stared wistfully into the fire. So they were all secretly fighting hard, huh? Good for them. They at least knew something they wanted to fight for. Me, on the other hand, I had no idea. More than that, I wasn't sure that I could fight for something even if I did. The past year showed me who I truly was, and I didn't like the picture it painted. Lonely, misanthropic, a self-made victim, angry, bitter, resentful, distrustful, shy, unconfident. All these words floated up in front of me, triggered by Gerard's words as if by a magic spell. Compared to these guys, I was totally out of my league. It was a wonder any of them wanted to spend time with me, with the kind of negative, boring person I had become. Before my last year in Amarurisu, I was such a cheerful girl, relatively outgoing, clever, and now, well, you've got that look on your face again. What's up with that? It's nothing, really. I couldn't just spill all my insecurities on him, especially not now. That would put a huge damper on our date. But as I tried to wave it off, Jirard grew only more determined.
What's going on?
Tell me, I'm sure there's something. If I can help in any way, I want to. Ellipses. Should I risk it? Yeah, it's probably best. Like all things considered, I feel like he's gonna want to know in the end anyway. So you know what? Let's just tell him.
Well.
Plus, that doesn't feel like it's a big part of our choices here, because I feel like it's only after the Flower Festival that all starts. Well, this is going to sound really stupid and insecure, and it's a total downer, and I'm really sorry about that. Gerard took my hand in his, searching my face. Don't even worry about it. Hit me. So good! He was so good! How could any one person be so nice? How on earth did I find myself on a date with such a nice person? It's just that I feel like, compared to you, I'm so not worth it, kind of. I know it's silly, but I just think I've done so many stupid things in the past, and I used to be a better person, and if you knew all those things...
What?
There's no way that'd change how I feel about you. How you feel about me? I mean, you know, caring about you. Unless you killed someone, or a puppy. Both of those would be totally unacceptable. But it took a moment for that to sink in. I mean, does Undertale count? Because I think I did both of those. But Gerard... Did you kill someone? Well, no. Have you harmed a baby doggy? No. Then you're quite alright in my book. Seriously, don't even worry your silly head about that. I'm not worried about who you were in the past, I'm worried about who you are right now. And the Hana in front of me right now is definitely someone worth caring about.
Gerard.
Gerard chuckled. Anyways, I think it's time we head back. You seem a bit tired. But... I didn't want to end the night on that note. No need to push yourself on my account. We can always hang out more next week, right? Right, we can. Gerard stood and helped me off my ever-so-comfy log. This time, we walked back through campus together, and I was totally at ease. Gerard's bright personality had a way of lighting up even the darkest of corners. It didn't take long until we were in front of my dorm, saying goodbye. Thank you so much for asking me to the festival.
Thanks.
Thank you for asking me. Well, almost. Then I'll see you tomorrow? Wait. He glanced away, a light blush on his cheek. Then, with a firm nod, he dug his hand into his pocket. There was something I wanted to give you. When I saw it, it just reminded me of you, so... Sheepishly, he pulled an IBK out of his pocket. It was bright pink, the same shade of color as my hair, staring happily at me as if holding on to some secret all its own.
Gerard.
Gerard put an arm around my shoulders. Do you like her? She's called Chibiupa. I didn't know if you were interested in IBKs, but every time I looked at her, I saw you, so... I figured even if you didn't like IBKs, you'd like this one. Gerard, it's adorable! That's great, I'm so glad you think so. I'll keep it right by my bedside, so it'll be the first thing I see every morning, and the last thing I see every night. I love it! Onna, you're so freaking cute. That makes me really happy. Maybe I'll make an IBK collector of you yet. Anyways, you should get inside. Don't want you waking up all tired tomorrow. Okay. Thanks, Gerard.
Bye.
Good night.
See you later.
Good enough. I shut the door behind me, heart soaring. Gerard was such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. I crossed the room and placed Chibiupa on the edge of my desk lamp, right next to my bed. Welcome to your new home. I hope you like it here. I giggled to myself, then lay in bed with a contented sigh. I really felt like I could be happy with Gerard, and the thought both thrilled me and terrified me. And we have officially started Gerard's route, with Chapter 2 starting in the next episode. I've been Max, and we'll see you next time for more Let's Date the Completionist. Whoosh! Boom, boom.